Buddha's teachings. What comes through adequate conditions will arrive. Do not force attachment. Do not covet. What arrives through adequate conditions will dissolve once those conditions cease. Waiting or coveting yields nothing. Human life is very short, without time for regrets. Do not be overly troubled by people or things that cause you distress, even for just a minute. Encounters and separations all have their destined connections. Abiding by them and finding peace accordingly is the best way to achieve goodness. As a child, happiness is very simple. As we grow up, being able to live simply is true happiness in life. Because of excessive expectations, we become disappointed. Because our dreams are far-fetched, they dissipate. Holding on to too much makes it difficult. Keeping something can make some people unable to forget it because it's unbearable, while others must forget it as it's not worth remembering us. We are weary because we are hesitating between persistence and letting go. Sometimes we understand but do not want to accept the truth. Who enters your life is influenced by destiny, but whether to stay long or leave quickly is up to yourself. No explanations bring peace. Not being stubborn leads to enlightenment, and not seeking perfection makes life acceptable. No matter how well you live, there will be praise and criticism. No matter how successful you are, people will always comment positively and negatively. There will be admirers and haters. Some may be jealous, others may have nothing against you. Life is like that. You cannot please everyone, so do not lose your true self just to satisfy others. Everyone needs their own principles and self-respect. How others talk about you does not represent you entirely, as there are many different versions. You just need to be yourself, and that is enough. Being a good person does not require everyone to love you. Just be straightforward and generous. Flowers have many shapes and varieties, yet they can still showcase their colors and spread fragrance without hesitation. Everyone lives life in their own style. Why not support and uplift each other, or belittle each other? If you feel worthy, cherish happiness. Keep those who make you happy close, and love those who touch your heart. Being a good person is not easy, not entirely easy either. It involves influencing thousands of hearts or managing the mouths and tongues of the world. Of course, being a good person is not easy, nor is speaking difficult. Just maintain a good-heartedness to be a gentle person and follow your own path. So when facing storms, just remind yourself that after passing through the marshlands, the sun will naturally appear. Don't bother complaining or sighing in front of others, as speaking to them won't matter. Letting go of some things will make you feel lighter. Remembering some people suddenly will make you happy. A few pains and clear thoughts will make you stronger. Being overly concerned with one issue will only confuse you. In reality, even the simplest matters become complicated if you think too much. Just keep a calm mindset and an open heart, and everything will pass by simply and lightly. Human life passes very quickly. If you can move beyond transient fame, you can reach true things. When life encounters complex issues, resolve them gently and let go of unnecessary entanglements so that your heart can be at peace and you can move forward. Yielding to others avoids petty congestion. Expanding your vision outward allows you to see the rainbow after the rain. Packing your baggage lightly enables you to travel freely on the long road. With a steady mind, the most beautiful scenery is not what the eyes see, but what the heart perceives. Deep emotions do not need to be spoken. They can be recognized through actions. Whenever things do not go as expected, remember the behavior of water, soft and gentle, mild and quiet, yet strong. Then transform things without disputing or arguing. If everyone could cultivate to that realm, there would be no worries for the world. A calm heart is not fixed. If you see the good in everyone and find meaning in everything, you will find life joyful and the world beautiful. If you approach life with goodwill, everything becomes karma obstacles. The world will become filthy, and many people will be detestable. Hoping to be more beautiful is in fact the best method to be beautiful, is to maintain inner purity and a joyful spirit. This beauty makes others feel light-hearted, unresentful, and not exhausted. In reality, what you receive in this life is the result of what you have created before. What you are doing now will receive results later. Life continues this way. If you are aware, you can limit many negative thoughts and not burden others when encountering unfavorable or frustrating events. Merit comes from diligence and a selfless lifestyle. Start with a compassionate heart, help the poor with gratitude, repay kindness, and in all things and people. If you have faith, karma will not bring disasters or regrettable events in life. Always respect others and exchange tolerance, appreciation, and acceptance. 100 rivers then become wide. This life has two things we cannot avoid. One is to move forward, and the other is to stop. Use a positive mind to advance. A positive mood is the best companion, helping you stay cheerful and healthy with those near and far. If there is a destined connection, it should involve fostering good relationships. Because daily life is not low, in urgent times, embracing the Buddha is futile, so you must know how to accumulate human relationships. Like a bank account, the more time you deposit, the higher the benefits. When encountering matters, do not be impatient. Do not jump to conclusions quickly. Especially when angry, you must know how to place yourself in many positions to see things, making matters larger or smaller. Making matters smaller does not erase complex issues, but they should be resolved as gently as possible. Do not make things simple into a mess. Be mindful enough. Most of the world's worries stem from pointless comparisons, thinking that easily someone is inferior to you. Of course, there are people you cannot be friends with. When you complain about not being beautiful enough, remember those who cannot even walk. If your opponent makes you angry, it shows you have not yet overcome them. They turn around and see who is insulting you, which is unnecessary. Like when a rabid dog bites you, do you have to fight it back? If you are angry, do not care too much about the evil words of others. Do not see work as a burden. See it because of Buddha. Be patient in anger. Face work cheerfully and positively. See work as life being art. You will enjoy the joy it brings. Living another day is also just a minute, so know to cherish human life, which is only a few decades. Do not do things that cause yourself to deeply regret. The sun rises from the East Sea, sets in the Western Mountains, sadness passes, joy does too. A day without being troubled by trivial matters will make life peaceful and the spirit light. Live life sideways, return to sitting still, be calm. After the rain comes the sun, anger and sorrow become calm acceptance. Do not clutch your belongings on the way, wander, or live in the midst of the rain to soak in the world of wild strawberries. As days pass quickly, do not hold on to too many dreams. Stop throwing bait to catch shadows. Be intact today, seeing the perpetual cycle of the four seasons change the dream clothes, overlapping illusions inviting awakening. If winter comes and life has not yet ended, live correctly now, do not dream. Awakening when life falls into the dream, we come to this world. Self-respect has only two great things, birth and death. One thing is completed, only one remains, so there is no need to rush. What arrives through adequate conditions will dissolve once those conditions cease. Waiting or coveting yields nothing. A person with wisdom does not live by the world's tongue, nor fears the gaze of the world. Just understand your own heart, observe your own virtues and flaws, and gradually make corrections as a way of self-cultivation. The most unsteady life is not having a spiritual support, not knowing where to turn to. Whether you are aware or not, whether you admit it or not, but if your heart only contains good things, nothing can make you troubled. If your inner self is truly kind, you will never resent anyone. If your way of living is truly deceitful, then no matter how chaotic the world is, it cannot affect you. Being a good person means being healthy, at peace, and having sound sleep. Doing good means heaven understands, earth knows, and spirits respect you. If you do not doubt, the world will not be cold. If you do not discriminate, the world will not be distant. If you do not sell your fate, the sky will always be warm. If you do not cause trouble, the four seas will remain peaceful. True tranquility is not sitting still for hours, but knowing how to use a calm mindset, observe all things, and listen to the sounds of flowers and grass growing. Stability and sustainability come from the inner self. Wishing or seeking externally will never be achieved. Humans strive, work hard all their lives, but when life flows away, they cannot take a single leaf. If you drag on a lifetime, in the end, you cannot carry even a small leaf. Glory and death are both born. Whether rich or poor, they go through the entire journey, and everyone must say farewell. One lifetime is actually very short. Many who promise to live 100 years turn around and become someone else. Overbearing people also have their own issues. When the heart is adjusted, the yin and yang methods distinguish, so when there is still a chance, do not cause regretful matters. Do not think too much, do not pay too much attention, do not covet too much. Being a good person with little money is okay, but do not have a poor will. Do not let a lack of money make your vision narrow. Although you cannot reach glory, you should still be friendly. Being outwardly unappealing is okay, but do not let your inner self be ugly. A good person's character does not depend on outward appearance, but originates from the heart. Being physically small is okay, but do not let your heart be incomplete. The outward appearance is that no one likes those with a narrow heart. Even with a small back and thin body, a kind heart can comfort countless people. Being a bit weak physically is okay, but do not let your spirit be frail. Weak people tend to be pessimistic and self-deprecating, so you must cultivate a courageous spirit, have initiative and confidence. Being a bit slow with hands and eyes is okay, but do not let your mind be confused. Always remind yourself to keep a clear mind to see far and wide. Being a bit callous is okay, but definitely do not become too cruel to avoid turning into a demon. Otherwise, if you don't go to hell, who will? Being slightly smart is okay, but definitely do not think you are the best while everyone else is inferior. Otherwise, the world will only see you as dangerous. Being a bit lazy is okay, but never be lazy all day. Changing the necessary work is to try to do it completely. Have a heart to contribute a little. If you do not want to be a parasite, cling to society. Being a little frugal is okay, but do not be too calculating because of money. Otherwise, you will have the habit of evaluating others by money and will soon or later become its slave. Being a bit tolerant is good, but do not let others invade or take advantage of your tolerance to continue committing faults. In any case, you should keep your own rules and self-respect. Being a bit miserable is okay, but do not let the suffering last. Without a method to liberate, you must learn to overcome. Some things arise that you can only accept. Some people are lost that you can only let go. Some road sections are chosen that you can only step forward. Many good things come from waiting, not from seizing. Therefore, have patience if you do not want to miss happiness. Enjoy all the big and small things that arise in life, because tomorrow when you rest, you will realize their true value. They are all very important. Many things must wait until they become memories. I just realized the value they carry. If it is truly destined, then time or distance is not a problem. If it is not destined, even if you meet again, everyone will go their own way. Perhaps a person needs to go through many roads, experience many glories and hardships to grow up. When you see a person clearly without saying, you will understand the meaning of forgiveness. Not liking someone without turning around, you will feel the pinnacle of respect. A mature person is not because they live long, travel everywhere, and experience many things, but because they know when to let go or be tolerant to limit the struggle for possessions. Everyone in their heart has borne various pains, not because they have passed, but because they know speaking does not resolve anything, only making themselves weaker. Maturity is being able to keep a full smile while transforming suffering into happiness. No matter how terrible current life is, you need to courageously face it. Do not think about mixing up and avoiding, and even less about cursing and complaining. In life, there are many things that do not have to follow your will to be good. The sun does not rise late because you are not happy. The moon does not end the night early because you are troubled. Rolling your eyes does not mean the world will turn into night. A dark heart blurs people's vision. Also, it is not certain that light will belong solely to you. In life, there are only hammers and axes that are not sharp enough, but there is no type of grass that cannot be cut down. The work only has people who have not yet thought of a complete method. Nothing is impossible to accomplish. If desired, people will think of ways, otherwise they will find reasons. Life is like a glass of water, whether hot or cold, the suitable temperature can be drunk. The flavor, sweet or bitter, just needs to suit the taste. Delicious is good. Using it quickly or slowly is good for hearing. 4 seasons continue, regardless of spring, summer, autumn, winter. If it suits the mood, it is all good. Life is not war, so there is no need to classify saints among people. If sympathy increases, misunderstandings decrease between affairs and things. If yielding increases, struggles decrease. Some things require patience, some people require yielding. You cannot fight over status. There is no need to beg for anyone's support or understanding because everyone has their own perspectives and personalities. We do not value ourselves, hence we worry about losing and think others do not understand us. In fact, being a good person requires knowing how to reduce personal ego a little and place yourself in others' positions to see things. Life will become much more pleasant. Therefore, the more you open your heart, the greater the joy and the broader the acceptance. Do not discuss others behind their backs and do not need to pay too much attention to rumors about yourself. Because a useless person has nothing to say, and the more outstanding you are, the more attention and criticism you will receive. In life, admitting fault is a form of honesty, while letting go is a form of style. If you send out honesty without receiving style, it shows the other person is mediocre. A noble person, when able to tolerate even the lost things in life, only cares about responsibility, not about benefits. When you are standing in a high position of the spirit, able to turn forward with hope, look down with empathy, and treat others with appreciation, you are standing in a high position of the soul. Life not only needs to look directly, but also needs to see everything clearly. Looking far away to see the whole picture, seeing through to know the world, karma is divided equally because of fame, because of words, because of actions. Clear vision is not to have given up seeking, but to have a peaceful heart and calmness. The most fearful aging of humans is not the appearance, but losing the progressive spirit. A person cannot change the external shape, but can completely improve the inner character. Changing the character will change the life accordingly. In relationships, remember kindness, enthusiasm, and honesty will bring beautiful results. Some smiles are closer than courtesy and can bring warmth to the other person. Criticizing others' mistakes when you yourself are not good, blaming your own shortcomings is not good. Using your heart to evaluate others, no one is perfect. Hiding your heart, pushing your opponent to the last path cannot make them go into an end, only harm yourself. Pushing away, staring at the good and bad in the world cannot cause anyone to lose anything, only make yourself lose time. Raise your head to look at the sky, the wide earth. A cruel person will have no friends. Being too selfish only makes you tired. Only love can create kindness, can tolerate the whole world. When you have time, sit still, reflect on mistakes. When free, do not comment on good or bad things in the world. Words, although conveying meaning, can easily cause harm. Evil karma from the mouth is nothing bigger than slander, so be careful to open your mouth. Avoid speaking unnecessary things. Even joking should have moderation. Do not slander others. Keep a bit of discretion. The way of scolding people, remember not to be too serious. Keep some leniency even if you are right. Do not overdo it. In processing matters, keep some tolerance. Do not make it too harsh. Keep some distance. Accept others to open up opportunities for yourself. Empathy with those around helps yourself become broader. A tolerant person is because they know how to use a good heart to treat life. A person of quality is due to always showing respect, treating others with appreciation. A person cultivated shows through a gentle attitude with everyone, and knowing to think of others is worthy of everyone's concern. If you respect the other party, life will respect you back. Using a gentle attitude to treat everyone will naturally make your heart become pure. A non-competitive, non-struggling attitude will not worry or fear anyone. Life's cycle returns to where it began. Sitting open-minded, paying debts is too busy, bent back and loaded down with karma. Destiny depends on all thoughts. Path goes along the living sea, dissipates the great ocean, repays feelings tied to fate. Destiny returns to the forest in autumn. Yellow leaves repay letters to pens, repay strings to music. I return to the old face now, all destinies, smart in this place, all destinies in daily relationships. Everything has its destined connections, keeping people with people. If you see others as saints, they will be saintly people. If you see others as demons, they will become scary characters. It is like looking in a mirror. If you smile, you will receive a happy face. If you smile sadly, you will see a sorrowful face. Among friends, it's the same. If you treat them with respect, reverence, they will respond gently, politely. If you despise others too much, you will receive indifference and invasion. Therefore, in life, treat friends sincerely, treat family with affection, treat loved ones with tolerance, treat enemies with forgiveness. Hold a pure mind, maintain benevolent thoughts. Dealing with everyone will gradually be received with corresponding responses in the heart. The quality of good things and quality of life will also be elevated accordingly. Character comes from the heart. Scenery changes with the heart. Kindness in the heart will be reflected outward, spreading to the surroundings, leading to good results. Humans are very simple but also very fearful. A good-heartedness can tolerate everything. A malicious heart can harm countless people. Being too cunning makes others avoid you. Being too harsh makes people resent you. Facing everything, always decide to fight to the end. Having some advantage, try to fight to get it all. In the end, what is lost is people's hearts, and you yourself become base. Therefore, when facing money, benefits, be tolerant and pay attention to not losing harmony, disputing, calculating meaning and emotion. Knowing to be tolerant a little will not be ashamed of your heart. When fighting for reputation and profit, seeing being tolerant a little to not get stressed. Accepting rumors, being unstable at the last moment, a little to not be bothered. No one is perfect, everyone has a different style. Although there are admirers, jealous people, or people who do not feel fondness, deep down each person hopes not to be entangled in petty gossip. Only those who are truly intelligent will not live too cunningly, plotting all day in various ways. They will be a little tolerant to maintain kindness and avoid endless struggles. Life is short. Knowing how to be content and satisfied is the way to achieve success. A busy life, knowing how to be tolerant and wishing you peace, will be at ease. The story of a farmer and the lesson of karma. Once upon a time, there was a farmer who specialized in farming to support himself and his family. Every day, he plowed and toiled from early morning until nightfall, exhausted before returning home. Yet, his family remained poor, lacking one thing after another, years after years suffering from floods that caused them to face hunger, scarcity, and mounting debts. One day, as he was working the fields under the scorching summer sun, he became extremely tired. He sat down to rest by the riverbank under a shady tree, looking out at the sunlit fields. He felt melancholic and thought about his own poverty-stricken life. Amidst these wandering thoughts, he felt his life was so grueling, hard, working day and night in the fields, sweating in the scorching sun, but never having a hearty meal or warm clothes, always burdened with the harshness of his own miserable existence. Suddenly, from the deep forest, a rabbit ran out and crashed into the dead tree trunk, dying instantly on the spot. The farmer naturally saw the rabbit. He rejoiced heartily and said that from now on he can escape poverty. He happily took the rabbit home to use as meat, selling half at the market for money and cooking the other half for his family. He cheerfully said to the rabbit that from now on his family would no longer live in misery and hardship, nor toil in the fields. Starting from the next day, he would just sit under the tree, waiting, believing that every day a rabbit would come to offer itself to him. So he sat at that tree from morning till evening, day after day, but for months no rabbit came. People only saw the farmer sitting and waiting with a listless face, singing sadly, looking very foolish and despairing. How could this be an enlightenment moment? Let it be. It had already taught us a valuable lesson and a more correct view of the karma doctrine. Instead of the farmer wanting to have food and clothes without effort, he should sow seeds to reap fruit. Just as to have rice, you must first plow the land, sow the seeds, weed, fertilize, lead water, cut trees, and take care of them according to the karmic process. And when conditions are favorable, there will certainly be a bountiful harvest, seeing many good results. It is precisely because of some people's mistaken belief that everything is random, when without transformation and without work, wanting to have food as the farmer does is in that case. Shallow thinking, assuming everything happens naturally, like the farmer who found a rabbit without knowing that everything has deep causes. That rabbit was scared, fleeing desperately because it was being chased by a predator, so the rabbit ran too frantically without proper direction, crashing into the dead tree and dying on the spot. As for the farmer, After many years of hard work in farming but still not making enough, facing drought and crop failures, he had to endure hunger, deficiency, and poverty. Despite his year-round dedication to farming, he still could not support his family. From then on, he dreamed of having power, imagining everything. So when he was resting tired and crying by the tree after hard work, he let his mind wander, feeling despondent and blaming his fate for his miserable life. He dreamed of pleading to heaven and earth to grant him everything, to have enough without working. The rabbit inadvertently made his dreams seem to come true. Therefore, he believed his dreams were correct, so he did not need to farm anymore and sat under the tree every day waiting. In his heart, he always hoped that a rabbit would come again to offer itself like the previous one. This is the negative thinking and attitude of some people who lack understanding and do not consider karma deeply. Wanting to eat without working and wanting to have without effort leads to a shift in mind, resulting in not only the farmer himself but also his family having to endure hunger and poverty. People often dream of beautiful things, power, or do not know that all successes and failures in life are caused by their own actions. If you see working and sowing merit leads to a warm, full life, misery, poverty, and difficulties are because past generations did not know to give, offer alms, help, share, or were greedy, corrupt, or manipulative for their own benefit, but wanting to enjoy much, to spend, to waste. Most poor and impoverished people easily give rise to those who are lost, dream of power, or desire magical things, always wishing gods or deities would help improve their lives like the farmer did. From a life of lack and hardship, when the rabbit happened to make him generate wrong thoughts and actions, he thought everything was random. Without divine help, he would give up farming and sit under the tree waiting. We simply do not deeply believe in karma, do not work and want to eat, do little but want to enjoy much. These are habits of people who lack understanding and are deluded, like the farmer sitting and waiting under the tree after finding the rabbit. All events occur with their interrelated karma. If someone believes that life in this world is predestined, fate determined by a powerful deity distributing blessings and curses, then humans will be born with irresponsible thoughts toward their own actions. If someone believes that everything is random or accepts fate as already decided, they will blame the poor and not try, then blame heaven and earth. These two extremes can lead to suffering for others. In reality, everything in this world should succeed or fail, be good or bad, right or wrong, all governed by karma. Life is not easy at all. The sweet, bitter, sad, and happy all combined can turn a life of suffering into romance, transforming a harsh world into deep emotional connections, which is true resilience. Because this world is not perfect, the sun that rises brightly soon sets in the west, the full moon turns into a crescent. Therefore, the most beautiful port is still when the moon has not fully bloomed. Not yet complete, feeling a little lacking makes it eternal. Imperfection is what defines the human world. Knowing to accept, nothing becomes a problem. Knowing to bow, you do not have to enter through the narrow door. Yielding the way keeps you from having to carry burdens and breathing heavily. Your heart will progress to always know sufficiency, and happiness will be full. Practice giving more than receiving, and people interacting with each other all use their hearts to perceive. You being good to someone, they will definitely know and respond. The foundation we demand is for the good. Ask less of others, require more of yourself. With less ambition, there will be less worry. Human life is like a unified village, born with empty hands, and upon death cannot take anything with you. Forgiving others is also liberation for yourself. Therefore, practice living simply. Life is inherently not complex. Practice living as simply as possible. Spend time caring more about family and friends. You will feel the joy and meaning of life.